Hello, everybody. Today, I think I'll talk about universal health care. And I'm going to just stick with that for the sake of argument. That's what we'll call it. Some of you will call it communism at its best, socialism at its worst, and blah, blah, blah. Everything I talk about today is opinion based on things that I've read and everything like that. I don't have any facts with me right now because I was just too lazy to bring it all up and go through that like that. So we'll just go start off from the beginning here. All right. Again, this is opinion based by me. Some of my right-leaning friends will go, "Oh no, you're falling for the Bernie thing." My right-leaning friends will go, "Yep, see, that guy doesn't want health care whatsoever for anybody." I tend to be in the middle on this one here. Again, I'll call it for universal health care for the sake of argument, and that's it. Do I believe in it? To a certain extent, yes. And I'll explain that. I'm on health care that's paid by the general population, taxpayer. And I'd probably be dead if that wasn't the case. But it can be much better and more cost effective with changing things up a little bit. I don't believe Bernie Sanders' idea of how it's supposed to go will work, just because how he's trying to get it to be paid for, and it's just like I don't think that's going to work out so well. I definitely think everybody deserves to have, at the very least, basic health care. That's where you get to go see your doctor like once every 2 or 3 months. You get to go in and, if you're having the flu or something like that, you go in, you get your medical, you get your script and everything like that to help take care of what you need and stuff like that. Certain things like that, I'm totally for. Stuff that keeps you alive. I think that definitely should be paid for everybody. A healthy society is a good society. Now, past that, employers, corporations, stuff like that. If you have a large corporation, then pretty much every one of your people that work for you should have some kind of health care for them. You have the ability to make deals with insurance agencies, pharmaceuticals, and everything like that to bring down the prices. I don't know why you don't. If you got like 200,000 people working for you, you should be able to work out some kind of deal. That's just my thoughts on that. For the most part, I think insurance agencies should get out of it because there's a big problem there. The cost of the pharmaceuticals, I understand that there is a profit margin, and there needs to be a profit margin, which helps for innovation and getting new equipment and inventions to help people more along the lines, to help all along. I understand that, but like for me, insulin. And yes, Jamie, we talked about this, but this is still how I believe it. It's my opinion only. Like the insulin for me, it's less than $5 to make. Less than $5, and in all reality, I think it's less than $2 to actually make the insulin that's for me. But for some reason, overall per pin, I use the little pins for my insulin, roughly $2 to $5 to make for each one of them. Through the insurance, it costs over $100 per pin, over $100 for each one of those pins. So to keep me alive each month, cost the taxpayer roughly about $2,000 to $2,500 to keep me alive. It's hard for me to even justify that, except that I want to stay alive, but the cost of that is ridiculous. I mean, I understand the cost to transport it, pay the people, and everything like that. But that $2 to $5 per mile, that's to pay the people that actually make it, and the ingredients to make it and stuff like that. That's what that's for and stuff like that. So I'm like going, okay, transportation. How does that $5 go to $100 plus for a little pin that only keeps me alive for like 2 or 3 days at a time? That little amount right there. It just seems crazy. So, I'm going, I could understand if it was 10, 15, even up to $25 a pin. They're still making lots of money off of it, still getting everything transported and everything like that. I understand it. But any more than that, it's ridiculous. I want to save taxpayers as much money as possible in this. So there's got to be something there, an incentive or a penalty for these manufacturers to stop doing that. And I can almost guarantee that the taxpayer actually paid to have that invented anyway by loans and grants and everything like that to the people who made it, and they're profiting off of it and not the taxpayer. So, there's that. I think we should look at European countries where, it works to a point. I'm not saying, totally go with the European model and stuff like that because, well, we're a country of closing in on 350 million people as opposed to countries that have, most of the countries in Europe have less than 65, 70 million people, tops. So, we're looking at like huge numbers, and, if we broke it down to a state level, it'd probably work a lot better. Each state doing that. Each state modeling after a European country would probably work better than this entire country trying to do that. That would be like the entire European community trying to do universal health coverage for every single country that's in the European community under one flag. It's not going to work. Everybody's a little bit different. I definitely think that we should put more money into preventative and instead of just, they're sick, now we've got to take care of them. Well, luckily what I have right now, which is helping bring down the cost for me and the taxpayer, is they allowed me to have a club membership here in town. It's I think it's $25 or $30 a month. I go there. I'm trying to lose weight, working on that. My health is getting better, so the cost to the taxpayer is a lot less. And yes, I know taxpayers going, well, we shouldn't have to pay for it. Well, it's going to happen. And that's the way it is. So I'm trying to bring down the cost so it's not this extreme amount of money. By every 10 pounds I lose, probably start saving the taxpayer about $10 to $15 or more a month on my health care or more. You see what I'm saying? It's like preventative is better, and I know, excuse me, not everybody will like that fact. It's like going, like for a diabetic, we tend to have like really tight muscles in our legs. And that causes it's one of the causes for the neuropathy. I'd say probably about somewhere between 15 and 30%. Again, opinion only. Because I've gone when I had a job and stuff like that, and my legs were so tight all the time. I'd go to a massage therapist, and I would they'd work it on it and stuff like that, and I'd get about somewhere between 15 to 30% of my feeling back in my feet and stuff like that. Which is okay. It staves off the bills a lot longer. If you have neuropathy, there's possibility of losing digits, losing a foot, losing a leg, kind of thing. So why not go with something that's only going to cost, say, if you can get it on the cheap end, work with somebody and stuff like that. We'll send you a lot of people, get a discount kind of thing. So, but basically $30 to $45 for a half an hour or so working on your legs. And you can move around a lot better, less likely that you're going to need any more medical help down the line. Well, you will, but it'll be longer down the line that you don't have to worry about it. And yes, I go off on these, dominoes here and there and stuff like that. But yeah, Bernie Sanders' idea, it's a, good idea, but wrong way to go about doing what he wants. We need to have more doctors and more nurses, more healthcare type of people involved in the process of how to take care of patients for long term and stuff like that, and not as a money profit kind of thing. A healthy population is not a profit population for the medical industry. You still need the medical and stuff like that, and I'm all for medical in all sorts of forms, but I'd rather have a healthy society than basically one that we're going to have to take care of later on in life because we didn't take care of them early on in life. Again, this is rant. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it might not, but it's just me. I mean, I don't have all the answers. I probably don't have many of the answers at all. Just ideas about how it will work better. Again, Bernie Sanders' idea is not the best idea at all. I definitely don't think Trump's idea of healthcare, I don't even know what his idea of healthcare is, to tell you the truth. It's just like, it can't be Obamacare. All right. What's your idea? And cutting Social Security and cutting Medicare and cutting all that. I don't think that's the answer. I think what they need to do is go after the pharmaceuticals, go after the insurance companies. That's where you're going to start bringing down the price. You start putting people into things, into preventative care. It'll work better. Now, here's a little domino that goes along with that. We got to start, and this is not a government thing. This is a people thing on this one. Is like we got to start getting the people to get off the junk food, the Cokes, the crappy foods and stuff like that. That is why I'm this big. It's years of eating crappy processed food. I blame it on myself, but a lot of times that was all that was available, and so much of our food is processed to a point where it's dang near not food at all anyway. And I'll use this as an example. I was in Asia, both Hong Kong and in the Philippines. The healthiest population that I was seeing were usually outlying areas away from the big cities, where the big cities had the fast food restaurants, more of the processed food, everything like that. The people that lived out in the countries, the very rural areas and stuff like that, they tend to be a lot thinner, a lot healthier, and there was very little processed food anywhere to be seen when I was there. While I was there, where I was staying was not in the cities and stuff like that. It was the outlying areas and visiting the rural areas. And, yes, I didn't eat as much, but while I was there, I lost 15 pounds. It was like 15 or 20 pounds for the month I was there. And I felt really good. I was able to move around a lot better. My knee felt better. My foot felt better. I was able to get around a lot. And that's what we need to do, is get the people to start thinking about getting off processed food. That'll be healthy for us too. That'll bring down the price of health care. Again, that's how I believe. That's my opinion. And we're closing in on about the time that I usually get off these things, and my rant is about over. So anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes. But yeah, like I said, Bernie's not the answer. Trump is not the answer. There's a middle ground, and it's like we don't need to go after industries to make better food. How we do that is basically having people demand better food and getting away from that and showing that their profits going down when we're eating better food and not their crap. So, like me, over the last, I think about 6 or 7 months now, I've been eating more plant-based food. I've been finding, I'm not against meat, mind you. I love meat. I eat it regularly. But I've found alternatives. For me, Morningstar meat products, more so the breakfast sausages, really good. Better for you. Yeah, they're still a little bit processed because, they're trying to get your taste and everything like that. But they're a lot healthier for you. There's this, what is it? I think it's called Lighthouse ground meat, but it's fake meat. I haven't made it into hamburgers or anything like that, but it's really good mixed with taco seasoning, and you make good tacos and burritos, and it's excellent. It saves you the red meat, that's bad for your heart kind of thing on a regular basis. So whenever I make burritos and stuff like that, I use the plant-based ground meat. It's really good, not going to lie. But there are alternatives, and they're getting better. And the more people that turn to those alternatives, and I'm not saying turn away from meat or turn away from junk food completely and stuff like that. There's a place for it and stuff, kind of like a treat and stuff. But yeah, I mean, even like give you an example, Coke back in the day, still bad, but it used to be sugar, pure sugar in there, pure cane sugar for the most part in there. Now it's corn syrup. Corn syrup's not good for you. It's not good for you, not at all. And same with the candy bars and everything like that. It's like they replaced it with crap that's cheaper. I'd rather pay a little bit extra and have good food and stuff like that. And, that's the way it should be. Okay. I'll say my time is up. Peace out. Eat better.